Unlike Tom Brady, we will not be shut out this week.
Oh, burn in your face.
How you like that for an open?
We finally have been doing this thing long enough that when the "let's go" hits, I actually like pump my head, like, yeah, let's do this. Like it doesn't scare me. I'm not afraid anymore, guys. I'm not afraid.
You hear me? I'm not afraid. Welcome to That Helps No One FantasyCast on the Dean Blundell Network. You can see in the bottom right corner. We're missing one, Steve Fisher.
Just one of them.
One of them. We're missing one human today because he was so busy not moving his house while Ted was moving it for him.
I mean, in fairness to him, I think he blew a disc or something like that. The guy's in rough shape.
Did you take his house and pick it up and put it down?
Have you seen that guy's arms? Yeah. It's like, why are you flexing all the time? I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way. I had a buddy like that in high
Clown
school.
question, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That was my team name a couple of years ago. Clowny question, bro. I had a buddy in high school. He was in hammer throw. He was like third in Canada.
Holy shit.
Dude was jacked. You guys might know him. I'll tell you off air. Anyway, his name was Mike. And yeah, you might Mike from Canada, right? So anyway, like,
I had a buddy, dude in hammer throw. You guys, he wasn't. I'll tell you off air. His name is Mike.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's the last name. So anyway,
reminds me of that old Molson Canadian ad.
My name is Joe,
and I am Canadian.
Yeah.
So like, big dude, right? And he's pretty built, and we would always joke like, Mike, you don't have to always flex when you're writing. And he just looks at us like always like, I'm about to punch your face so hard. And we did it so often, and it's good times. It's good times. So, just having some fun. Who wasn't having fun? Anyone that watched football this week. Week 15, we've dubbed Week 15
It's
as
the week of death.
UEAK.
You know who had even less fun though? Us suckers that play fantasy football.
Unless you followed my sneaky starts. And
We're getting there. We're getting there. Just chill out. Just wait your turn. Jeez. Hi, I'm Ted. I gave great information once again. To my segment.
But so did I. So let's get to the segment already. Actually, can we go back to last week? Because I've given good information 2 weeks in a row, even when I wasn't here.
Yeah, I've never been so excited to talk about Amon Ra St. Brown.
I can't do this toque anymore. That's too hot.
It's also humongous.
I can't do it anymore. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
That's a pretty big toque guy.
Yeah, I am. That's my new nickname. I had a massive week in fantasy. Massive in the sense that the people I played had sucky teams, and I took advantage of their suckiness. So I beat Ted, who apparently told me that he hasn't actually started a lineup in 3 weeks. So,
you should share why I haven't started my lineup in like
because we're out of the playoffs.
5 weeks. I'm out of the playoffs. It's one of those leagues where I basically had to sell my whole entire team. You get one keeper. So there's like there's like 16 people in this league. It's ridiculous. So,
but how do you get the first pick in that league? I still don't even know.
You have to play for it. I'm not getting the first pick either. My team is that bad. So I think
I still have a shot at because I beat you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. See, okay, so 1 for 1, and then in the Ball Hawks League, I beat Jenna Fabulous.
I will say that was an upset. Jenna's
I will say I would love to say convincingly, but the only reason I won is because Chris Godwin tore his ACL mid-game. He was having quite a game to begin with. And Taysom Hill did, I mean, the bare minimum would be probably pretty generous.
I think he got outscored by Nick Mullins.
If I were to have run on the field as a streaker, I probably would have had more yards than Taysom Hill would have had this past week. Thankfully, he had like 8 points, so that got me 4 points ahead of her. So I'm 2 for 2. And then I was playing our buddy Darren in the Whistleblowers League, and
pathetic.
He had Was it him that had Cam Akers? Oh, no, he had Kareem Hunt, who's like on the PUP list.
Dude, he had Kareem Hunt on the COVID list. He had Adam Thielen, who was inactive.
Yeah.
He had, Jerry Jeudy put up a donut, which is weird. Ty John, just Darren, do better, be better.
I'm well on my way to hopefully trying to challenge for the first overall pick. Although we do have our good friend Mike, who I play next week, and I have a very good feeling I'm going to get murdered in that. And then in the Ballhawks League, I've got who's the Toledo Walleye guy?
Thought he beat me,
Jay or something.
Jay Williams, yeah.
Ooh. That guy. Let's just take a little deep dive into how I'm about to get absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, his teams are donkulous.
Oh man! So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to find this.
So. Speaking of the Ballhawks League, I'm just having to look at it for the first time tonight because
big fan.
I PVR'd the Seahawks game, so I was avoiding my phone, thanks to Ryan and Ted for blowing it up. But I just squeaked by Steve to secure not last place in the Ballhawks League. 102.94 to 102.12. So
good for you.
Wow.
Good for you.
It out. In the whistle in the
that's impressive.
That's a close win. Whistleblowers, I won my quarterfinal matchup, so I'm off to face Mr. Ted Wong, head-to-head, semifinals.
Okay, well, we know how this story goes, or at least how it's gone the last couple times you and I have played one or the other.
I'm probably the last guy Ted wants to see in the playoffs.
It's a bad scene.
Let's get back to me for a second. Let's get back to me for a second. This Jay fella, and then you guys can do whatever the heck you want. So this is what I'm up against, and I do not have a team that can equal him. Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor. He's got Michael Carter, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Devontae Adams, Njoku, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, and his bench, which I'm assuming, I'm not sure why he's got these guys on his bench. Jalen Waddle, Tim Patrick, Melvin Gordon, Jared Cook, Justin Jackson, Justin Fields, which sucks. I am going to get lit up like a Christmas tree this week. So by me making it one step closer to the finals, I will probably lose by like the second game on Sunday or by the second game on Saturday. It's unlikely I will advance. So back to whatever you guys were talking about.
Ryan's not having a very Merry Christmas going up.
Oh, I am. I'm wearing Galaxy Cat, man. It's Christmas time.
Well, you ran the board today, so that means that you're in tough next week. Is that?
That's usually how it works for me in fantasy. If I win the bye week, or if I win and get a bye week, or if I win week 1 of playoffs, I always get trounced in the second round.
But what the hell were the rest of us doing in my Ballhawks league? How did Jay get Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, and Cooper Kupp? Like, he may have made a trade for one of those guys, but yeesh.
I mean, the Taylor pick, the Taylor pick was a good later pick.
Yeah.
The Cooper Kupp pick, he stole right out from under me. And then the Adams pick is just obviously, I mean, Adams is there where you take him, and it's going to be a good pick no matter what. But that's a pretty solid roster. That's tough sledding. He had a bunch of guys contributing for him throughout the year. I don't think I played him a couple times, and I never even came close to beating him.
I know he's not here, but for the final time, we should congratulate Steve Fisher on his playoff appearance in Whistleblowers. He cashed in on that, and he will be knocked out as of this evening. So, one and done. Way to go, Steve. I'm glad all that bragging about beating me,
Steve?
Yeah, but did he still finish higher than you in points?
Oh, yeah.
So is he better than you?
Not really. I won, and he lost. I get to still keep going. I can still fight for the first overall pick. He's out. He's in the middle.
Yeah, all Steve did was, ruin his draft position, and Ryan's still going for that first overall, which is full disclosure, guys. I actually didn't want to make playoffs in the Whistleblowers League. I was really hoping to, but I couldn't bring myself to tank those last 2 weeks to make sure that you
know that you could make a run.
Yeah, I couldn't. yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tank my team to miss out, to try to get that first overall draft pick as much as I want it. I just too much integrity.
Too much. Yeah, that's what.
I just couldn't do it to my boys,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something like that.
I'd see right through that. You lose the room.
So I've got one more question, then we'll get into our recaps.
And I mean, also, I really want to end Ted's season once again. So.
Like, I'm going to be watching this matchup pretty intently this week, I think. I think that's what's going to happen. Like, Chris, who's basically going to make or break for you? Who's going to be your guys that have to show up? Who are like your three?
Let me hold on. Let me pull up my roster.
Let me just see what I got here.
My three guys that have to show up.
Oh, by the way, I went 63-20 in whistleblowers. Just to give you an idea.
Score. Yeah. So just to also give you an idea, an average score in whistleblowers is like 105.
Yeah, I beat out one other team.
Yeah, you had the matchups against the guy that does not give a shit about fantasy football.
Yeah, so I'm proclaiming this as a victory, and he's just like, I'm sleeping already. I don't care.
Yeah, I need Deontay Johnson to show up.
Okay.
I obviously need Aaron Rodgers to show up.
You have Claypool as well. You have two Steelers receivers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work out well for you.
I mean, until this week, it's been fine.
It works until it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you that that's a true story.
And my number three guy, I could really use a big game from Josh Jacobs.
You got D. Eskridge.
I do, yeah.
He has 0 points today.
That guy has big hops, though.
Yep.
Couple.
He was held up at the border. They wouldn't let him cross. Today, he was held up. I know I'm a little touchy, but that's what I do. I like pushing buttons because it's fun for me. I do it to everyone.
There was a couple that he should have come down with. There's a couple that Russ could have thrown a better ball. It is what it is.
And a blatantly obvious PI, but hey,
DJ? That was on DJ.
Oh, that Dallas. DJ Dallas. That's right. Yeah. That was, again, that wasn't going to be the make or break play of the game, but it's still garbage. Just, you got to make that call. Really festive. Ryan, one of those things is not like the others. Well, three of us are here, you jackass. So
Ryan thinks his cat sweater is festive.
It's Galaxy Cat for all those watching.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't. I just bought it.
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
Exactly. Ted, who might you need to blow up this week?
Oh, I need solid games from like the regular contributors on my roster. So I need big games from Mahomes. I need solid games from Nick Chubb. I need Cooper Kupp to keep doing his thing. I could really use a big game from a guy like Dawson Knox after making
he's
a
your
trade.
Star, man.
But
he's your star.
I had a certain Baltimore Ravens wide receiver that I had to jettison in order to get my hands on some handcuffs, right? Because that's what we do during this time of year.
Yep.
So I need Knox to do like regular Knox thing. I need him to act like the number 4 tight end, not just an everyday tight end. So, and then obviously I need a game from Dalvin Cook. All my running backs are in red matchups or tough matchups this week. So it should be my receivers look good, my running backs don't look good, but hopefully they can get by playing games like teams like Green Bay and stuff and score up and win.
Things are going on in the background at Chris's house.
I kicked my son's dinosaur.
So guys, you're both in round 2 of playoffs, and really only one thing needs to be said.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
I just want to win a game.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Well said.
So 2 years in a row, I've been knocked out. Well, I got knocked out in the second round a couple of years back. And then I ran a perfect team all the way to the finals, had the first round bye, second round again. Chris knocked me out again. So I have not been able to get over the first round humps for a long, long time. So it's been about 4 years.
This is a heavy mantle this week, hey?
It's a big one. There's a lot of monkeys that could be lifted from said backs.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of monkeys on the back, Russell Wilson. for the final 2 games of the season, over under touchdown passes at 1.5 combined.
Oh,
I'm not trying to be.
I think that's a real prop bet, actually.
So 1.
So sorry, like
I'm serious. Over
3
under for the last 2 games of the season,
3 games.
1.5 touchdown passes.
They have 3 games left.
What week is it? 16, 17. Is there 18 now?
Yeah.
Shit. I'm sticking with what I got.
Like total,
I'm running
like,
it hot.
over the 3 games, over.
1.5.
They have the Bears, the Lions, and the Cardinals. Over.
Yeah, he's gonna throw for 3 versus the Bears.
Yeah, over. Hammer it.
I'm gonna take the under.
You're just trying to be different.
I am different.
We know.
I am different. That's pretty obvious. I forgot about that week 18. It just snuck right in there. Jeez.
That's what she said.
She did. You know what? You know
That-
what I really want to
And
do?
that, folks, is how babies are made.
Oh, you're on the
Hey!
bottom now. Sorry. I can do it.
Power bottom.
Power. You're the bottom now. Ooh,
I'm a power bottom.
You're something. All right. All right. Let's recap our sleepy starts, sleepy ads, sleepy starts. Do-do-do. That was fun. That was really fun, actually. So I had Carlos Hyde. He had a concussion, so he didn't play.
He was sleeping.
Didn't work. He was. We don't want to, we don't want to encourage said activity, but yeah, he didn't play.
He was
And Mecole Hardman had a fatty 11 yards, so 0 for 2 for this guy. Ted, how did it go for you? Clearly, you couldn't get to this segment quick enough.
Oh man, this week was the home run of all home runs. So my start of the week that I said to go with was to start your boy Tyler Huntley. Talking about the Harbaugh bump. I started him a league. He put up 35 points for me. I still managed to lose the week somehow, but he wasn't the factor. I know a couple other dudes that started him as well. So big week for Tyler Huntley. So we're just doing the one, right? Tyler Huntley was our guy, so he had a massive week. Craig Reynolds,
both.
Craig Reynolds,
yeah,
11.5 points, no TDs, but he put up like 86 yards or something like that. So, and they've even assigned him to the roster now, so he looks like he's gonna be there for at least another 2 years. So maybe they keep giving him a chance. Very, very least he's a third string back there. So. This was a big one, back-to-back jacks with the sleepy starts and the sleepy ads this week.
You know what pisses me off about you? You're like the last guy to put in like your players for the ads and the starts and your Thanos. I'm like constantly I hound everybody on like Monday night. And I'm trying to make sure everybody's in there. Ted's like, I'll have it by like after work on Tuesday.
Because it's not about
home, and you hit home. Like I know you have this. It's just like, who's this? Is this guy still available? Yep. Okay, I'll take him. And he hits like freaking like out of the park home runs.
It's not about running to the waiver wire to get the first guy. It's about doing your homework, Ryan.
Hey. I added some good players this year. Because of
when you if you're like me, you blow all your fab bucks early in the season. By like week 6, I pretty much spent all my fab bucks.
Do you know how good Josh Gordon was supposed to look this season? Really good. Didn't work out, did it, Chris? Didn't work
Ryan, out. I should have traded them to you.
You should have done that. You know what? As Ted said before, mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
Chris, how did you do this past week on your starts and your ads?
Okay, first of all, I wasn't here last week, and I just want to. I'm sure you guys talked about it. I just want to quickly mention I hit an absolute fucking home run with Rashad Penny last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, thank you for giving me my credit where it was due. This week,
he's so humble too.
I am.
Not just a home run, but an absolute fucking home run.
Absolute fucking dinger.
An absolute piss missile.
Yeah. My sleepy start of the week was Gerald Everett, which he had 4 catches for 60 yards. So nothing that's
serviceable. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're missing a guy like, Darren Waller or TJ Hawkinson. And I mean, there's slim pickings on the waiver wire for tight ends and you go pick up a guy like Gerald Everett and he puts up 6 points for you, or if it's
10 in a PPR.
I was going to say PPR, that's 10 points. You're a happy camper, right? So that decent week from a tight end perspective. My ad of the week was Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I did it again, boys. I hit a home run, a fucking dinger.
Oops, I did it again with your heart.
I should have had the sunglasses and hit the music. Anyways, 8 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
That was just a sound.
Yeah. 8 catches, 90 yards, touchdown for Amon-Ra St. Brown. He put up, I think it was like 15 and a half points for me in the Whistleblowers League, which is actually funny. I only started him because Allen Robinson ended up on the COVID list, and really happy that it worked out well for me. So
I'm glad somebody's enjoying all these starts. I'm just digging to the bottom of the barrel, like, oh, that's why it's at the bottom of the barrel, because they suck. So I was really hoping the Mecole Hardman thing would pan out, and he still might. He's going to pan out in like week 17 or 18, the week I didn't know about.
I even tried to make an Everett X to the Z reference last week, and for some reason I said DMX. I got way thrown off there. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
you
happened.
did. We made fun of you for that.
Yeah, it's true. It went down like that.
It did.
Thanks, Ted. I appreciate it.
And Steve, I'm just looking. He had Nico Collins and Rashad Bateman. How did Rashad Bateman do?
Rashad did real bad. Rashad got actually in that week where I lost and I started Tyler Huntley. He put up 35. I lost because I couldn't get a single point from Rashad Bateman. In fact, he got me only a half point.
Yeah, it's just say he had 1 catch for 5 yards.
Ugh.
So obviously
That's
Ted wasn't in a PPR league.
So Taysom Hill outscored him. That's saying something. That's saying something. Like, doesn't that kind of blow your mind though? Like, having watched the last couple of games with the Saints and knowing how much they paid him, thinking like, well, if he's the quarterback and he starts X amount of games, like, you guys made a huge mistake with him.
I
hope you have to eat that sandwich.
I hope Taysom Hill's agent gets like a 50% commission, because that dude deserves it for fleecing the Saints over and over again.
Is it weird to say that I want him to bounce back?
No, it's not weird. It's like
I might.
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to see the guy shit the bed. Like
maybe they get somebody in there who can platoon with him. Like just have there. Maybe they go back to using him in that sort of like package role. But like, man, when he's on, like he's so fun to watch.
But that's the thing is like, move Taysom Hill to tight end and find an actual quarterback. You can you can still have him on the field to run some gadget plays, but like he's big enough to play tight end.
You think stick him in that like Josh Cribbs role where they're sort of moving him all over the place?
Yeah.
Or specifically a tight end?
Specifically a tight end.
So he's Tim Tebow, basically.
But like better at football.
Rhymes with Shmim Shmibo.
Shmim Shmibo.
And his coach probably doesn't kick him.
Did you hear the other story about that? That Urban Meyer is suing that reporter for that story?
Really?
I just saw that. Like, bro, like it probably happened. So maybe let's just let bygones be bygones.
Come into my yard and she
take your money. Yeah, you got my dog. What are you talking about? Chris, you weren't here last week and you missed the debut of our segment's theme music. So without further ado, I know I'm excited. Ted, are you excited?
Oh, I'm just so thrilled.
Chris, you're in anticipation. I can tell you're excited. So without further ado, it's time for Thanos. Yep. One more time. Just enough.
Just shred. Just shred.
Just enough to get your blood pumping.
Oh, sickest gnar, bro.
So I'm
got something pumping, that's for sure.
Whoa.
Heyo. Yeah. I made a nice little something for it's getting tough. It's getting tough right now. I'm not gonna lie. Finding guys that just suck and aren't claimed as we get closer to the end of the year, it's a little bit tough. But you know what? I still managed to find my guy. And you probably saw the tweet today from the Thanos account from one Michael Bolton. And I don't know if you guys have heard the song, How Can We Be Lovers If We Can't Be Friends? Not Michael Bolton on the field, but Michael Burton, also the director of many horror films like Edward Scissorhands. That's actually Tim Burton that I'm referring to. So let's just show the clip. How about that? How about we just show the clip?
Here's Burton, hops his way into the end zone for the touchdown. First of the year for the big fullback, Michael Burton.
I mean, that was it.
Hey,
You're not going to start him. First of the year.
You love watching these fullbacks score, though.
It is fun. It is fun to see these guys get in because, I mean, they're players too.
Can you only not think of Mike Allstott when that happens? Can only think of Mike Allstott when this is happening.
He's a monster.
I don't know. I'm a big Max Strong guy.
Sure, yeah, Max Strong too.
Max Strong was pretty good. It's pretty good. So, you know, you're probably the Seahawks reference I think you're going for there. Pretty sure.
Yes. I know Ryan just started watching football, but yes, Ryan, that was a Seahawks reference.
Yeah, he runs. He does the fifth quarter show, doesn't he?
Hashtag football knowledge.
I think I already did that, but just in case someone's tuning in late, hashtag football knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. Chris, because you were away, whoops, a little bit hot on the buttons today, folks. A little bit, some coffee, most likely. Chris, who was your Thanos for this week? You get next dibs.
So I actually didn't realize that Ted picked this guy last week as his sleepy start. And Ted absolutely hit a home run on this one. However, he was still only started in less than 1% of leagues.
Amazing.
On the NFL fantasy football app. He absolutely killed it. I was shocked that the Ravens were, going toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers with all the injuries and COVID and everything else going on there. But Tyler Huntley, you're 40 points. That helps no one.
Huntley in trouble again, out to his right, throws, end zone, and caught! Andrews! What a start, touchdown Ravens.
And I know Steve's butthurt that I chose one of his Ravens for the second time this year. And it's no disrespect for Tyler Huntley. He balled out and nobody played him. So
that was a great clip too. So he gets it to Andrews. Andrews got over 1,000 yards. I don't know if it was with that catch or not. It doesn't really matter. No, he's clearly not in the game, you ass. You know,
still so funny. No, with perfect delivery. That's why I was laughing so hard.
And so you see that Andrews obviously is having a wicked season, and then you see I was gonna say that was a savage clip there as you see him in the background, like, what? How come? He's like getting all butthurt about, like, man, you gave up a touchdown. Get over it. Life goes on.
Get over it.
Play better footballs.
Exactly.
Do more things.
Do things. Do something. Mr. Brown, Mr. Dog Pound. Who'd you have?
I wanted to keep it with the fullback train here and pick up a dude like Kyle Juszczyk, who scored, especially after watching, what the heck is his name? Michael Burton score. And it was a good vulture, but I had to go with just literally the most meaningless touchdown for anybody, and that's going to have to be Jesper Horsted. Takes a TD away with basically time expiring. The Bears are already way out of this game. There's not even any point to it. You just run the play and run the clock, but somehow they score with time expiring. Jesper Horsted, roll the clip.
I'm going to, and then we're going to get to Evan's question here, and then we're going to listen to me sing a bit more.
And it's another red zone trip officially. Here's Fields. Throwing. And it is caught. Wait for the signal. And they're going to say he was short. That's symbolic of how the night has gone for the Bears. That's Jesper Horsted, second-year player out of Princeton, and that would have been a significant play to a lot of people. Wow, when he left his feet, he was in the end zone. Does he catch it? Does he come down with that ball? Yeah, he does. Ruled short of the goal line. Boy, it does look like a touchdown.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The game is over.
And there it is.
All right.
Look up like maybe I have the wrong clip. Nope.
Horsted.
Two things. First of all, the audio on that one sucked.
There wasn't a good clip. I looked. Trust me.
Audio sucked. Second of all, I think that might be the Thanos of the year. Like
where you're not even sure. Like
it was so good. Like I was gonna pick Juszczyk until I saw that clip and that call.
That is the Thanos of the year. There's no time left on the clock. The score means nothing. And they have to actually review it to see whether or not it's a touchdown.
And then they're like, it's a touchdown. Game over.
Easy Thanos of the year for Ted. Once again, hits it out of the park. God damn it, Ted.
That was good. We're going to get to Evan's question here. Ted, or either of you guys, I guess, who wants to take this one?
I mean, we can
welcome back, Evan.
Chip in. Thanks for asking the question, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
A-Rod, I assume you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. There's no way.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, there's no way in hell he's going to the Vikings. But even then, I would rather see him on the Broncos. With
Peyton Manning route.
With Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, and or Melvin Gordon, whoever's playing at running back there. They've got a good offensive line. Defense is nothing to complain about on the defense. I would, as much as I hate Aaron Rodgers, put him on the Broncos.
Put him on the Broncos.
Put him on there. Super Bowl bound within 2 years.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to go. I'd rather see him go. I mean, I like him for both these teams. So just to be clear right off the start, I like him for both these teams, but I would rather see him go to the Vikings, even though we know that can't happen. So if history repeats itself, he joins the Vikings 2 years from now, Chris, is that right? So he becomes a Viking 2 years from now. I mean, as of this moment, there's still a lot of fun weapons, lots of toys there for him to throw. I mean, he knows what he's doing when it comes to playing in places like Minnesota. And you know, our boy Matt Ferguson, I would love to see history repeat itself. And,
the Brett Favre saga,
right? The whole Favre thing. It would be great to see another famed Hall of Fame Green Bay quarterback head to Minnesota as well and ply his trade there. The only thing I wouldn't want to see is for them to go as far as they did and miss it. I would like to see him obviously complete that pass and not Favre that pass. But Detroit, yeah, man, I think I'd rather see him go to Minnesota. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be a phenomenal story. It would.
Yeah, it really would be.
And just the duality of you're right of the whole Brett Favre thing. Like there'd be no way. And then he goes to the Jets.
Yeah, good question, Evan. We like that one.
That's actually a really good question.
All of a sudden, he's sending dick pics out to everyone again. You know,
yeah, and then
really following the Favre footsteps.
Right. Shortly after retires and starts becoming the spokesperson for Denver Hayes,
the discount double check, like
yeah. And then starts saying a whole bunch of,
and then and then becomes a complete weirdo, flat earther, tinfoil hat wearing.
Yeah,
the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. You guys are idiots. I wish we had Steve on here. He could tell you.
We know.
Speaking of Steve, who decided that he couldn't make it tonight, he did make one comment.
We just lost one of our 10 listeners.
Well, we'll be okay. 9's still pretty good. I believe we've got. Is it? I want to get his name right. Did I even have him? I think I had him as like an ad, or someone had him last week.
No way.
I'm pretty sure, or not last week or the week before.
Nobody recommended adding a fullback, Ryan.
I swear, someone had him a few weeks ago.
Okay, well, Google Docs needs to have a search function so we could search the name, but
it does actually.
Oh, not on my phone.
No, it's only once. I take that back. This is the first time you've seen it. Without further ado, Not Freddie Adu. We've got Jason Kabinda. He's also fullback, so clearly Steve's excited for this. Is he even watching the show? We'll get to your question right after this one, I promise, Evan. Here's Kabinda, because why not?
In the backfield, play action, go, fires, touchdown, Kabinda! And Detroit takes a 23.
What a route, too. What a route that game was.
Sorry, Evan. Before we get to your question, I just want to
put it up here anyway. But
I just want to quickly shout out a guy that I follow on Twitter. He posted it from MR Sports 604, which I think was probably Riley Feenan that posted this. Anyways, he made a bet, and it was a 2-player parlay. Anytime touchdown score. His stake was $6.25.
oh no, how much money did he make?
$1,000. $1,006.25 because he bet that Jason Kabinda and Kyle Juszczyk would both score touchdowns.
There's something wrong with betting in sports.
Right?
Like, how is that a prop bet? How is that something you can pick? Just scroll through like him.
Yeah. And like
Wow.
if you lose $6, you lose $6. But he turned that $6 gamble into $1,000 victory.
PS5 and a TV. Maybe
Not,
maybe in the
not
US.
Not quite.
Not an OK TV. The Vizio from Costco.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fun fact: my brother. Speaking of TVs, my brother today texted me asking me about Christmas presents. He goes, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Don't buy me anything for Christmas." He goes, "Well, is it like anything you need for like around the house?" I'm like, "Well, since you mention it, like I could use a 70-inch Sony Bravia smart TV." He didn't go for it.
Usually that would be where the conversation stops.
Yeah, it ended. He
So,
said, "LOL, nice try." Damn it.
so you're getting an oven mitt that is Seahawks themed.
Or like maybe Mickey Mouse themed. Yeah, probably.
Either or. Probably works out. Let's get to this question here, and we'll get into our sleepy starts. We're only doing starts this week, no ads, because by now I forgot about week 18, so maybe we do ads, but no, we won't. We're just kidding. Who is the Steelers quarterback next year? Because I'm pretty sure Ben is done. I think we're all pretty sure Ben is done, at least in Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried his. You don't think so?
He's cooked. He's done.
You don't
There's
think
nothing
he's
left there? I mean,
You don't think he's got like a swan song somewhere?
Done.
Like a
done.
rando?
No
You're
way.
right. It depends on him. If he's one of those guys who wants to hang around, he can catch on somewhere as a backup, I think, and he'll get some games in. But it's completely up to Ben, and I don't think he's got anything left.
He doesn't need to. I mean, he's got
His
the
arms
ring.
look worse than Cam Newton's.
Ooh.
Is he though?
I mean, it's true, but like, I'm just acting shocked. Yeah.
Thank you for telling us. I'm just showing. I mean, but okay. So, who do you think their quarterback is next year?
Aaron Rodgers.
You think he goes from one cold city to another?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, sure. I think that's possible.
I'd want to go warm, man. Kick Garoppolo out of San Fran, go home.
That's still a pretty veteran team, and they'd probably want a veteran guy in there. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't shock me for sure. I'll go the other direction, and I'll say that Pittsburgh's next starting quarterback is Matt Corral. Yeah, exactly. Ole Miss QB draft prospect. I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is I think the next guy that goes in there might even just be a guy that's drafted, a guy who's not even currently in the NFL right now.
Didn't they just try that? Isn't that their backup?
A backup? No, they'd obviously need a legit prospect.
Or what about a guy like Gardner Minshew?
Sure, that's a stopgap until you find that prospect. Yeah,
yeah.
I would love for Gardner Minshew to come to the AFC North and be Pittsburgh's starting quarterback. That would actually be my favorite. I hope that happens.
So it tears up your Cleveland Browns,
right? But there's a better chance that it's not Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
That's probably a good chance. You know what? He's going somewhere, and they would be an absolute dagger for for my buddy Chris down there. And I mean, at the end of the day, football.
You play to win the game. Hello?
Hello.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
You don't.
I think you should roll that right into the Andy Green crib. Like it should, just play, and then it goes right into Green. And I think like Denny Green. Sorry, the whole. Did I say Andy Green? The whole. Yeah, it would be great. I think you should probably work that in.
That's a lot of work. Segment. You guys put a lot on my shoulders already. So
like, hey, if you want to crown them,
if you want to crown them. They are who we thought they were. I'm a man. I'm 40. Just roll that. Just a constant clip.
Yeah.
Like
I would love.
You know what? It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, this is crazy, and it won't happen. But I mean, there's some targets, and maybe they can utilize a scrambly quarterback.
You look legit better, Chris.
They can have an offensive. Well, the offensive line isn't helping Ben, so I suppose he wouldn't go there. But for the sake of pissing someone off and creating content, Russell Wilson, or you know who's available, Matt Flynn.
You look a lot like AJ Hawk right now. Just saying.
Me?
No, Chris. And
I was gonna say there's no way.
His grumpy look and his toucan.
But I mean, Matt Flynn is also available. He's.
You know what? You know who I heard the other day. I posted a picture of myself on Friday wearing a Seahawks toque and a hoodie, and I had a couple people comment that I look like Will Dissly.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did he
do worse? You could do a lot worse.
Could do a lot worse. Which Will Dissly a lot more than AJ Hawk, I would say. But
just Russell in that moment,
Russell Wilson's not going to Pittsburgh, man. Come on.
Come on, Ryan. Gardner Minshew's going to Pittsburgh. We already talked about it.
So Ted can say something stupid. Everybody's like, "Oh, that could happen." Ryan says a star quarterback goes there. No, what an idiot. Thanks.
Basically.
I like the support system that I have here. No big deal. It's not like I make sure everybody's here on time. Jerks. So let's get into our favorite. Thanks, Evan. You've had some good questions this season. We thank you for coming by. Stick to the end because we're about to have some more fun. Time for the Sleepy Starts with Chris. I just like the fact that there's still bottles of booze hanging around there. It just makes it a little bit more funny, he just does it, and that's like professional. That's the NFT version rate that we're seeing right now, folks. Chris,
I actually passed out. Speaking of naps, watching a Christmas, watching the Santa Claus 2 with Nadine last night, and I pulled one of these last night. And she kept kicking me. Do you want to go to bed? I'm like, no, I'm good. Fall asleep again. She kicks me again. I'm like, you want to go to bed? I'm like, no. I'm
You got to get that fixed, man.
Where do we stream Santa Claus movies from? Where are those on?
That is I own
Netflix?
it, but it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, okay.
Disney Plus.
Interesting. So
I'm
speaking
one of those
Sleepy
weirdos,
Starts,
though, that has to have hard media. See?
Cool. I might be able to add to your collection for you.
Ooh.
What was that? A Hot Wheels track?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, guys, the show's over. Chris,
hey, we have that same track.
You got a Batmobile you can fire in that thing?
I do.
We'll
I
get.
I think I have two of them actually.
We'll get Dominic Toretto. We'll get a Batmobile and what else?
Family.
Yeah, family. Chris, who's your sleepy start this week?
Oh, geez, there's still starts to do.
Yeah,
I'm doubling down
part,
on.
okay.
He was my sleepy ad last week. He went off for 15.5 points in a non-PPR league.
I don't have a tip for that, so
I'm gonna double down on Amon-Ra St. Brown going up against the 29th ranked Atlanta Falcons pass defense. He's gonna have another big game, folks. Get him in your lineup for semifinals. I know I'll have him in my lineup to beat Ted.
You're gonna start him versus me? Damn,
Daniel. Yeah.
All right, we got another cue here.
Ted, we'll get Ted's, and then we'll get Evan. He's on a roll. So Ted, who's your start, and then we'll get Evan's question.
My sneaky start, sleepy start is going to be Justin Jackson of the once San Diego Chargers.
Great team.
Yeah,
great team. Big fan one time.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the carry ratio in the game this week. He basically split with Eckler, and then they threw 7 out there too. So I think this is a guy who's done decent. I think that he's going to get start share. I think if you could do worse if you're going to try to find a third or fourth running back or a flex play for a guy that likely could put up 10 points. This week he put up like 86 on 12 carries and no score. So even if he does less than that, still manages to get you a score. I still think he's going to get the touches, which is what I've kind of been preaching all year.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. We can really go from 0 to 100 here, family. Evan, you've got a question here. How does Ronald Jones do? Yeah. How does Ronald Jones do since they said Fournette will likely go to IR? I had this conversation with a coworker today who's still kicking my ass in our work pick'em. I'm dead last, by the way. Got 8 wrong going into Monday. Not good for business. I thought in my head Ronald Jones would maybe have a bit more damage. It looks like they signed Le'Veon Bell, who hasn't done anything
Which
for
is
the
crazy.
last handful of teams. Still nuts. And of course, it'll be a team. I mean, it's entirely possible that Bruce Arians makes this work and la-di-da, he goes off in the next game or two.
Wasn't Arians the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh when Le'Veon was there?
Wasn't he in Arizona still?
It's a good question. Let's find out. You talk.
Sure.
I'm going to go.
He's in Arizona. I don't know, man. Their run game, Ronald Jones is good, but I mean, he's not Leonard Fournette. And that game, they had so many injuries this week, it wasn't even funny. And which gets me into great question. Speaking of me, my sleepy start this week is Tyler Johnson. He's owned in 0.2%. And if he's healthy, I'm going to say he's going to have 88 yards and a touchdown this week. I know that Antonio Brown is coming off of the suspension list. It's convenient how that works out when things are going awful. It's like, past transgressions were good. We just need to win. A Super Bowl is more important. So I think they're going to have to move the ball around. So I think if they can kind of not 50-50, but if they can get both games going and not just have to rely on the run game, and maybe move around. They still have a few targets to work with. Gronk's healthy. There's an option there that maybe Ronald Jones or Rojo has an okay week. I don't know, man. That changes so much now that they've lost. Is Mike Evans playing this week? Did they say?
I last I heard was that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. So, that he's okay or that he's not playing?
No, that he's not playing. Okay.
So they lose Godwin. They lose Evans. They lose Fournette. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. Tom Brady's pretty good. He's not that good. He can't make well, not that Tyler Johnson is a nobody, but you go the whole year, almost running the table, and then you run into stuff this is the time, man. Fantasy playoffs and actual playoffs. We're all suffering, but they're needing to make the playoffs.
Are you really saying that Brady's not going to be able to get it done with no name brand receivers there?
Yes, I'm aware of what I said.
We're talking about Tom Brady.
I know, but he can still lose.
Has he? When's the last time he had a star receiver?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the defense to carry him right now.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for old Tommy. But start Tyler Johnson, 88 yards and a touchdown. Bank it. You can come back to me and say, Ryan, you're so smart. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I promise you. I'm not willing to bet anything on it, but it's going to happen. I promise you. Evan, y'all think Waddle could be a top 10? Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah, I'm super high on Jalen Waddle. I think he... I think that it's very, very, very possible that he could be a top 10 next year. We could looking at a guy in a Jarvis Landry position where he could come down with 110 balls and 1,000 yards. I think he's that good. Could be a legitimate keeper, depending on your roster size coming into fantasy league. So too, yeah, I'm a big fan of Jalen Waddle.
There you go. Chris is doing some kind of research. I'm not sure what, but
big boobs, hairy vaginas.
There it is.
There it is. We've come full circle. That's what she said.
I mean, you told me that I was getting too excited earlier, and I just didn't want to like lose the mojo.
We can see the reflection in your picture there of what you are looking at, so that's good. It is what it is.
It's good, I promise.
Knowing Chris, he's probably on like page 18. He hasn't found something he likes yet. So
haven't found anything hairy enough yet.
I can only think of Borat now for some reason.
My wife.
Just throw on plow.
Oh. On that note, this has been a lot of fun.
It's regressed quickly.
So next week will be the championship week, as you all are aware, for fantasy playoffs. And we have a returning special guest. I had a chat with our good bud, Jim Coventry, and holy smokes, I'm excited to chat with Jim about basically, because we're on a Wednesday, and I think we're going to be able to go earlier because I think we all have next week off. So that's great. We can basically just chat about like what should we be looking for in in a finals team. If you've made it to the fantasy championship, what kind of questions should you be asking yourself, kind of stuff. So maybe ask Jim. We'll put out a hashtag maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the hashtag is going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it out there.
We should ask Jim about BBHV.
We're not going to do that.
No.
We're not going to do that. I respect Jim too much to ask him about that. He's like, and I'm never coming on your show again.
So, like, what's your favorite kind of... Never mind.
My personal preferences. Oh, jeez.
Anyways,
folks, this has been a lot of fun. That helps no one FantasyCast on the Dean Blundell Network. We're not sponsored by anybody, but if you want to sponsor us for the final month of the regular season, you can. Maybe National Lampoons wants to sponsor us. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? In a couple days from now, it's going to be Christmas, and Santa Claus is coming down your chimney, and he's going to bring you a fantasy win.
Coming down your...
He's also going to bring Tyler Johnson 88 yards and a touchdown. Pretty sure. Sure. And he's going to bring me some sleep. That's all I want.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Yippee-ki-yay. Yippee-ki-yay.